We have Gail from Okemos. Gail, what is your question for our panel?
Hi, thank you for doing this tonight. What will happen if the millage is not approved? How do we pay off our pension debt?
All right, great. Thank you, Gail. We'll take that question, well, you off air, rather. So who wants to take that one? What will happen if we don't pay it off? Well, if this isn't passed?
That's a really tough question to start out with. The answer is not a real favorable one. We must start paying down our pension debt. We need to pay about $1.5 million over 10 years to erase a $30 million deficit that we have. If we don't pay it off in 10 years, we'll pay an additional $15 million if we pay it off over 20 years. What happens if we don't get voter approval on August 8th? We will make our unfunded pension payment in 2018. We must. So we will reduce our expenses by $1.5 million effective January 1. That will mean, and we're not talking a lot about this publicly, because if you do, you're seen as scare tactics and vote for this or we're going to do this. I can tell you that we can't cut the police and fire department. Our staffing is not where it should be right now. I'm not going to recommend any cuts to our firefighters or our police officers. So therefore, the $1.5 million will be spread over all the other departments, and we'll actually see the elimination of 1 or 2 departments.
In terms of the operating costs of the police department and fire department, what does the majority of the budget currently go towards?
Well, I can speak for my budget. The majority of the cost is personnel. If you begin, and I'd probably say that any department in the township is that way, but if we're put in a position where we have to cut funds, it would be personnel.
A couple days ago, I had the chance to catch up with MSU offensive lineman and 2017 captain Brian Allen just hours before his 22nd birthday. Take a look. As we start to wrap up high school football and we're getting deeper into the Big Ten season, sitting down with me tonight is MSU football player Brian Allen. He's a 3-year starting offensive lineman and he's also a captain. They just won big in the Big House and he's here with us tonight on this episode of All Access Sports. Brian, you're coming off of a major win this past Saturday in Ann Arbor. Tell us how you're feeling.
Exciting time to be a Spartan, really. I don't think a lot of people would thought, it would be 4-1 at this point in the year with the win, over Michigan. So just excited for the rest of the season and excited to see what we can do down the stretch.
And now let's talk about it again. In the fourth quarter, 10 minutes left, it was really anyone's game. So tell me, what was going through your mind during those last 10 minutes?
To be honest, just the way the game was going with the weather, the offenses weren't really, moving the ball. So like the 10-minute mark till about 3 minutes left, I was, perfectly fine. But when we gave Michigan the ball the last couple minutes, I was, nervous just watching the defense go out there. And, when I saw the final pass hit the ground, it was just kind of a feeling of relief, and celebration started, so it was fun.
And, we talk about that celebration. It's actually your birthday here in a couple hours, 22.
22,
the big 22nd. Now, you're here 3 years. Your older brother, Jack, who's actually been on our show multiple times, talk about, coming in as a freshman. Did you ever feel like there was almost more pressure on you to, perform?
No, yeah, I didn't feel like there was any pressure, any standards I had to live up to with him. If anything, I thought it benefited me having him here, just to have someone, be able to coach me other than our coach and give me another, perspective on things I need to work on. So it's never really any pressure to, live up to his, standards or live up to what he did, but just be my own person and try to be as good as I could be.
And now switching roles, you have a younger brother, Matt, who's also here. So how does that feel like now you have your younger brother on the sideline with you? You've got a piece of family no matter what.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, me and Jack kind of flipped roles here. Now I'm the older brother and, Matt's the younger brother. So, it takes a lot of patience. As an older brother, you want to see, your younger brother succeed. And when he makes, simple mistakes or stuff like that, it kind of upsets you and you want to help him as much as you can. But at the same time, you got to, just be patient with him and just know that he's young and he'll learn eventually.
Yeah, and a young offensive line too. What has it been like leading that unit this year?
It's been different, just in the years past we've had, guys like Jack Conklin and my older brother who have, been great leaders and had older guys around them, and now, everyone's so young. It's really been a growing process, and like with coaching Matt and helping with Matt, it's a thing with patience and just a lot of young guys that don't necessarily know or haven't done it in a game, so just gotta, you know, kind of learn together and grow together throughout the year.
Yeah. All right, so we have a couple of speed round questions for you. We're gonna put you in the hot seat, so
Uh-oh.
you get to answer them super quick. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, so NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys?
I'm gonna go with NSYNC.
Favorite song by NSYNC? Let's get a
I don't
little
have
more.
a favorite song. I like Justin Timberlake though, so
Oh yeah.
he was in NSYNC, I think, right?
Yeah, no, he was. He was.
Joey Fatone.
Joey Fatone, yeah. I don't even think they need to have like a reunion tour. I don't know, something like that.
Maybe.
Favorite Kardashian sister?
Yeah, I don't know many of the Kardashians, so I'm gonna have to settle with Kim. So.
All right, so when you're not playing football, what are you doing?
People ask me that all the time. My favorite hobby is really to just sit in my apartment and do nothing. So if I'm not playing football, going to class, or doing something for that, I'm just hanging out in my apartment probably, or hanging out with my friends. So pretty laid back.
Laid back guy. All right. Last time that you cried.
Last time that I cried, I don't know. I like to think I'm a tough guy, so I don't know when the last time I cried really is, to be honest with you.
That's okay.
Meridian Township Police Department isn't busy saving lives, they're busy teaching the youth about being police officers. The police department hosts a Youth Citizens Academy, and our Home TV's Tanaya Jordan has that story.
So it's kind of a one and done. It's got the same electricity. It's 50,000 volts of electricity, which the volts isn't really the bad part, it's the amps. So like a wall outlet is like 10 amps, whereas this is like 0.0.
Edward Bessanen has been with the Meridian Township Police Department for 10 years. Officer Bessanen explains how youth around Meridian Township can get involved.
Something like this is pretty easy for anybody to get involved with. They can just sign up. Our police department, they can call our cadets. They'll be directed to the training sergeant who will get them signed up and all the necessary forms that they need, and then they'll just be able to come in, and it meets once a week for I think 8 weeks.
The Youth Academy program will take place right here at the police department in Meridian Township. While the academy has a few popular subject areas, Officer Bessanen agrees that the youth really enjoy learning about the use of force techniques.
I think a lot of them really enjoy the use of force stuff, and also at the end they get to do firearms training simulator where they're put in real life scenarios that we may have to deal with, and they get to decide whether they would shoot or don't shoot or what they would do. So it gives them a little bit of a kind of indoctrination into what we might deal with on certain kinds of calls and situations.
The goal of the program is to inform young people about the police department and to foster relationships between officers and students. In Meridian Township, Tanaya Jordan, Home TV.
The police department also hosts a Citizens Academy for adult residents every year.
Thank you for joining us here on Coffee Break. I'm Caitlin Petrillo, and today I'm joined with Kit Rich, the Harris Nature Center coordinator, and also Roxanne Truen, Harris Nature Center's foundation director. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
So first we're going to talk a little bit about the history of the Harris Nature Center. So can you tell me when this all began?
Yeah, it's kind of a long story, so we'll try and shorten it up a little bit. So in the mid-'80s, the township wanted to purchase this beautiful property of about 40 acres that connected two other parks together. And so it was the perfect piece. And on that property was a house. And so they're writing a grant, and it just seemed logical to put in there that they would make a nature center in this house. And so that's what they did, and they got the grant, and a few years later they were ready to start building the nature center. And that's when I got a job. And so I was able to help with that from the beginning.
Okay, so what are some changes that have been made over the years to the Harris Nature Center, some additions?
Yeah, so it started as a house. It was then renovated to be less house-like and to become a better facility for the nature center purposes. And when they were done renovating, it was just empty. And so we just began to create our exhibits, develop programs. We were able to get involved with many, many people from the community, from the schools, from MSU, environmental professionals, people out of the State House, just general individuals who were interested in seeing a nature center be developed, and they all helped us with ideas and connections so that we got our first programs going and started our exhibits, and then I guess the rest is history.
What are some of the programs and exhibits that you guys put on for the community?
So, of course, one of our biggest things is working with school groups. And we've been doing that this whole time. Individual schools come out, you know, just one class, or like all of the first grades might come for a specific program. We do things with preschoolers and homeschoolers, so we get children of all ages coming out here, do a day camp in the summer. And then the other side is the general public programming. So that's all of our walks and our campfires. People can schedule a birthday party. We have adult ed classes like photography, and we do specialty programs, you know, ski classes, just pretty much anything that you can do in nature, we have a program for that. So, and again, that's, you know, just being able to connect with all the wonderful people in this community. Like, they'll tell us, you know, I really wish you had something to do with cross-country skiing, and then we do that. Or we love birds and we would like to lead bird hikes. And then, you know, we partnered with the Capital Area Audubon Society and they started leading bird hikes. So, you know, it kind of works both ways. So we just have so many programs going on because of that.
Today we are joined by Max and Lewis, and they are artists, and she helped discover you. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
So tell us about how you got started.
Well, we first got started when we were 9, when we started going to Arty Party, but then before that we always were into art. And then when we were introduced to a nature camp, we started actually like learning about nature and all that fun stuff. So then I got into insects, and then Lewis got into flowers.
Yeah, well, you have a lot of really detailed artistry that you've done with insects and that you've done with flowers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you collaborate and say, hey, I'm going to do bugs, and hey, I'm going to do flowers, or it was just...
Well, we didn't really know, but it just came to me when one day when I finished a painting, and then I just thought, wow, it'd be really cool to do an insect.
How did you start with art? Did you start with pencils, colored pencils, markers?
Well, we started with pencil because that was like at school, and we would always get our hands on pencils, and then we just do drawings and paintings.
I never really liked colored pencils because you couldn't exactly do that much detail with them, and the color was not that great, so then I just really liked pencils.
So were you drawing during class while the teacher was talking?
Yeah, sometimes.
So a doodle came into a masterpiece.
Yeah. I can see that, because when you're an artist, you have creativity. Sometimes your mind, takes shape, and you want to draw out what you're imagining in your mind. And so, I went to LCC as an artist, so I understand, the need to really draw out everything that you're thinking about. So how has Arty Party Studio, or Vivian Dreyer, how has she helped bring out the artist in you?
Well, she helped us discover like our true talent, and well, we really didn't know we were that good. Well, I thought I was, but my mom.
Good for you.
Was like, well, and then we really started doing art later.
Okay. Do you show your artistry anywhere? Is it up on display?
We have it in galleries everywhere, and we've won awards.
You have? What do you know the names of the awards that you've won?
So we got national awards in adult competitions. So
and let's clarify. You received national awards in adult competitions.
Yeah.
Yet you're 6th graders. You're 11.
Yeah, we're 11.
You're 11 years old, and
you've done it for 3 years.
2 years. 2 years.
2 years, and you've won adult competitions. That's fantastic.
That's amazing.
That's really good.
We're here at Suburban Ice in East Lansing with the ladies Silver Blades Ice Skating Club. Is that what it is?
Yes,
yeah?
we are.
Okay. So how long have you been a club?
We have records that have gone back to at least 1976, and we are sure that they were around a little bit before that. Wow. So somewhere in the early 70s.
Now, is this social as well as skating?
It definitely is social. We have delicious treats every time. These are creative ladies who do costumes and all kinds of creative things. So, yeah, it's not just skating, although it's great exercise. It's good exercise for friendships as well.
Good, good.
We have a couple luncheons a year that, like at holiday and at the end of the season. So, and some of us get together also outside of the rink because you make good friends.
About how many skaters do you have?
Right now we have about 40, and we can take up to around 50.
Oh, so call them up. Good lunches and really a nice table over there with some food on it, I'll tell you. Now, exercise. What other things do you get from doing this, do you think?
The friendship, we talked about
that's
that. Your body, you're getting the exercise with the core and
I would bet it would help your balance.
And your balance, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And can you?
Well, and it's not just. I always thought of skating as your feet and your ankles, and according to our coach, that's not the case. I mean, you skate with all the muscles in your body, so it's a full body workout, and the balance activities are fantastic. Good. And the coach is very safety conscious. She teaches you how to fall the first thing. And a lot of the ladies do wear helmets, but I fell last week and I didn't even have a bruise. So
good for you.
The right stuff.
I remember when my grandchildren were learning to skate. They were about 2 and 3, and they had a little thing to hold on to as they, I would need a chair for somebody to push me.
They have those here.
Do they? Well, there you go. That is for me. Now, do you offer lessons then?
Yes, our coach will teach a beginner's lesson at the beginning of our session, and then we have a more advanced lesson that goes on. And she has made these beginners, they have come so far, they're doing things that I wouldn't have imagined that they were doing.
Mm-hmm. And I imagine the skates are a lot better than when I tried to do it and skated on my ankles.
Yes. And you can have them sharpened too. So,
can you?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't think that was in the parental budget.
Not back in the day, no.
They're pretty supportive skates now.
The other thing, we do participate in the rink show at the end of the year. And the coach does a marvelous job coming up with a choreographed routine that skaters from all levels can take part in. So it's a great feeling to get out there in front of the audience and perform with costumes and makeup and choreography.
We talked to a bunch of tap dancers, and they also performed, and they loved it. They loved performing.
So do we.
Yeah, well.
we get about 22 of our members that do get into the show each year. And then some of us take private lessons also. So
now, is there a cost?
Yes. It's $72 for the year for our membership, and 16 of that goes to the United States Figure Skating Association because we're affiliated with them. We're a Learn to Skate program out of their association. And you can pay maybe $42 the first half of the year, and you can pay then $30 the last half. So otherwise,
that's it.
That's it. You pay for your own lunches when we go to lunch.
Yeah.
And we have some other little added things during the year, but
that includes your ice time and your.
Sorry. Yes. We do. The rink does charge you $5 per ice session a week.
But if you buy a punch card.